Hey, hold on just 1 second.
There we go. It's a little bit better.
Yeah, sorry for the glare. It is hot and humid up in here.
It is.
Whew.
In here, but out there.
Quick with the camera blurriness.
Hey, everyone. Hey, Deb. Happy Monday. Hey, Amanda. Hope everyone is doing well today. Hope you guys are enjoying summer. It is full blown here.
Hot.
Full blown summer. Hey, Kristen. It is humid. It's hot. There's no wind.
Full blown summer. Love it.
It's coming on strong.
I'll tell you one thing. What's up, JCB Farm and Garden? How you doing, man?
Hey.
It's making the plants, even though we've been in like a drought, they are popping. Like they are loving it. Especially your birdhouse gourd and the peppers. Like they are really enjoying it.
Yeah. Man, my birdhouse gourd is taking off. The loofah is finally starting to grow too, which we talked about last week. So.
I have a funny picture. I'll probably post it on. We were all over social media today with Facebook and Instagram, but we'll probably post it tomorrow. I mean, that thing is stretching. It's like, let me get to the trellis.
It's so close. Hopefully tonight it'll get there. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Sandra from Nova Scotia. It's finally beautiful and sunny here. Awesome. Hey, Granny Karen. Hey, Holly. Hey, Willow from New Orleans. I bet it's hot there.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't complain. Hey, Donna.
Hey, Mom.
Lori. Hey, Roberta. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Nikki. Hello, everyone.
Thank y'all for joining in so quick.
Yes. Hey, Veronica.
So we have had a awesomely busy and fun week since the last time we were live with you all. It's been crazy and
Debbie
awesome.
said hello from Canada. We are in for no rain for 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're hopefully coming out of that. So we haven't had rain for about 3 weeks, and there's a chance. I think our best chance down here is going to be Friday. So fingers crossed.
Amanda said, "Will the birdhouse gourds grow well up a fence? I don't have trellis space now."
They're going to attach to anything. The big, I mean, like they're going to attach. They're going to go over. You just might have to keep redirecting. But yeah, it's kind of
like you would beans or anything.
Right. It's going to send out. What are they called?
Tendrils.
Tendrils.
Yeah.
I was going to call them tentacles.
I call them spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers. And they're going to be reaching out for whatever they can grab. So if you keep redirecting, it'll go wherever you want it to.
And, at the base or like midway up, you could also tie it. We've done that too. We do it with cucumbers. If we trellis them or if we put them up a fence or, beans or anything, you can tie it. So, because that bottom is going to be real heavy and that stalk's going to be real thick. So you don't have to tie the whole way, but you can just judge it and see where you need to give it a little bit extra support, and then it'll connect. Deidre said we drove our first load of our move to Greensburg, Kentucky.
Nice, exciting. Another Kentucky homestead.
Yes, there is so many people coming to Kentucky, and it's awesome.
Because it's the best state. We're so close to the border of Tennessee. We're going to consider that we're living both.
Yeah.
Again, if you're coming in, sorry if it looks blurry. It's humid here. As soon as we open the door, it hit the screen. I'm not going to shake you all like I did last time. So that's why our lights look like they do. So
hey, Lavender. Hey, Amy. Hey, Marla. So good to see you. Happy Peasant Homestead. I'm new to Oklahoma. Is this weather normal? I have no
idea what you're dealing with.
I think they get a lot of rain, don't they, in the spring?
I feel like they're windy and dry, aren't they?
I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Tornado Valley kind of area, Oklahoma, Kansas, right? Then I don't know. Maybe somebody chat us. We don't.
Nikki said anyone grown birdhouse gourds need to know which trellis works best. So that's what we're growing. That's our gourd. We have a loofah and a birdhouse gourd, and we put ours on a cattle panel, and it is already attached, and it's doing really well.
Here's the thing about any gourds. When you're thinking about it, I don't care what kind of gourd you're growing. Here's the thing about gourds. One plant is going to take over an entire cattle panel. I mean, maybe two. You can maybe grow two on a cattle panel, but even then, it's going to go on the ground. It's going to completely fill the cattle panel. They vine everywhere. So unless you have like the St. Louis arch, like you're not going to have anything big enough that's not going to make it spread out. They're huge. So, I mean, I would say just do whatever you have, whatever you want to do, but be prepared for it to go on the ground as well. I mean, unless you build some kind of like really big arch that's modified and personal for that, that's really long, and your hand moving it, you're going to have it sprawl everywhere. So don't stress about it too much. Just get it growing and put it on something.
Hey, Stringfield. There was a comment that was funny. Oh, Cynthia said Tennessee is the best place to live.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I was actually born in Tennessee, and now we've gotten as close to Tennessee as we possibly can. So totally agree with that. I'd say Southeast Kentucky and East Tennessee is the best place you can possibly live.
Well, Southeast Kentucky, we're very underrated with Kentucky.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's over here. We like it that way, though.
Hey, newbie setters. We put up our first cattle panel wall at our community garden plot. Pretty excited to grow this year. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Cattle panel walls are amazing. You can grow so many things up cattle panels. Hey, Grace.
We can never get it bought.
Yeah.
My goodness, that's been a nightmare. Yeah, so we haven't updated on the White House in a while, so I guess we can update you all. We'll put it in a video at some point too. But basically, we're still in process of buying it. We had to there had to be a reappraisal, which is still pending. There were some title issues and some other stuff that was going on, and all that's being cleared up. It's just delaying it. I texted Kyle, our realtor, and I was like, "Man, I'm glad we're not moving to this place."
Yeah.
Could you imagine, Jen? He said, "Oh, I can." He said, "I'm so happy that we got y'all in your house." I said, "Me too, man. Me too."
It can be stressful, but ultimately, I don't care because we're not moving to it. So it'll be ours when it's ours.
That's right.
If it's not, it's not. It's totally fine. It's whatever.
It's better this way.
There was another one. Where'd it go? Oh, Little Mountain Life said, curious how the new house AC performs to your setup of the pole barn house. We actually talked about that today with the kids.
We did.
Man, there's no comparison.
So we were outside weeding the garden in the heat of the day. When you work a full-time job and you're homeschooling kids and you're doing all that different stuff, you don't always have that time in the morning or the evening to do it, but it still has to be done. So we had to do it in the heat of the day. And Wyatt and I, we've done it a few times when he does chores with me, and we have life lessons where we talk about what weeding the garden is, and we compare it to real life and all this and that. And so we were talking, and I said, "Y'all remember when what it feels like right now is the same temperature inside of our house?"
Yeah.
Wyatt said, "Yes, I do."
He does. He remembers it very well. So it's funny because I was actually thinking when me and Zach will be outside in the garden or, sitting on the porch doing whatever, the kids will come out and I'll hug them or I'll feel their little arms and they're so cold. And, normally people would be like, "Oh, they're cold. I don't want my babies cold." But I'm like, it gives me a sense of peace because I know they're cool.
They're not hot.
And they're not sweating like used to in our old house. When it became summertime, we couldn't have them in their rooms because we just had the window units that only serviced the bathroom and the living room / kitchen. But their rooms would get so hot that I couldn't let them be in there. At midday, I'd say, "Y'all got to come out. You got to sit in the living room."
Yeah, right in front of that one window unit we had.
I was so afraid they would overheat and, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's nice. I told Zach the other day, I said, I think it was Sunday, and we had gone to do stuff and we were coming home. And I said, "Do you remember when we would come home and we would have to bring our groceries in and full on sweat and the house felt the same as outside?" I was like, it is so incredibly nice to have regulated temperature. It just does it itself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's just something that you don't fully feel grateful for until you don't have it.
Yeah,
and then do have it.
And take that even to the side. When we did put a window unit in because we were just dying, our insulation, which we've talked about a lot in that pole barn, was so not the appropriate way of doing things. Little Mountain Life, they went through some experiences with that and they're doing it the correct way.
Right.
We did not. So that AC never stopped running.
Yeah.
So it's we're trying to be sustainable, but our electric bill is out the roof trying to support this AC that is not cooling us down. It's nuts. So it's now we have
almost just turn it off. What's the point?
Right. I mean, unless you stood right in front of it, it was that's the only cool air you got. But it's nice to be in a different place. You know what? I'm going to get a paper towel. Y'all are going to go for a rock and roll. We have to.
Yeah. It's glary. And a big glare on it. Newbie Sitter said, "I used to live in Florida and Michigan now, but when our AC went out down there, oh my gosh, it was horrible." Yeah, I can imagine. Amy said, "Question, what do you do with your garlic and onions after harvest to keep them all year?" So that's a really good question.
It's actually a good question for the old house and the new house kind of thing.
At our old house,
I'll wait till this.
We would just try to stick them in the pantry, which was not controlled, but it was dark, and it would stay a little bit cooler than the rest of the house. But we would spread them out. You know, you don't want anything touching. You can hang them. You can put them on like a cattle panel and
people
hang them
braid
from there.
them.
Yeah, you can. There's so many different things, but mainly you want them to be dry, not humid at all, not any kind of moisture, and you want to lay them out so that they're not touching each other. So now what we'll do is we'll put them in our basement, and we have racks, all kinds of storage racks down there.
You want your racks to have airflow on the bottom. You don't want it to be a solid rack. You want it to be like those wire racks that we have, which I was looking around because we used to have one right there, right here. Yeah. But you want to be able to get airflow on the bottom too.
But people do use pallets too. They lay them out on pallets and just make sure they can get airflow and they're not touching each other so they don't rot together.
All right, if you're watching or if you're rewatching, I'm about to clean the camera. I'm sorry, but it's killing me up here. So just be patient real quick. Hopefully this helps me. We don't have to do it again. If not, I won't worry about it. Coming. Hold on.
There we go.
Hey, we're back.
So
and it
much
doesn't
better.
look terrible anymore.
So much better.
Sorry.
Like he said, when we open that door, the humidity
it just sucked right to
smacked the laptop. Oh my goodness. Yes, much better.
So Jennifer's dad, which I don't know if many of you all know her dad, which I'm sure none of you actually do. I mean, I don't think he's ever been in a video. Her dad and stepmom came down, and that was an awesome time. They came down Wednesday.
Yes.
And we had a great time with
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the day after our live. I'll let you tell us your dad.
Yeah, so they live in Tennessee, which is where I was born. They still live in the same place. And they came down on Tuesday and they stayed till Friday, and we had such a wonderful visit. They brought their camper and they hooked up and put it in the driveway, like where we park our vehicles.
It was a lot easier than when Tasha and Levi came from Arkansas.
They just had like a normal setup.
A normal camper.
No, it was awesome. They got to stay and we had to go sightsee and show them all the beautiful places around here. Yeah, Sharon, they were on Jet's video.
Yeah.
Sure. We didn't film just because it was nice to just be.
We got to get a GoPro. Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of what it is. It's like, let me show you.
Our camera setup is not the most user friendly.
This is what we use, and it's like it's a lot to carry around. So a lot of times we just leave it inside.
Yeah.
When we're spending quality time, and I watched Jed with like this GoPro, and he'll either just like have it attached to his backpack or on his head or holding it. Yeah. You don't even see it, like it's nothing. And we've got to get one because that thing. We dropped it one last time, and I don't know if y'all noticed on one of our latest videos, they were like went blacked out, and it's hit one too many times, so it's starting to act up.
GoPro for sure. Hey Tanya,
we like those for the the really nice shots, but I think for what we do at GoPro, like especially the new one, the GoPro 9 would be a good thing. So
Kentucky Faith Haven Farm, he did bring his guitar. Him and Wyatt had some really good mornings because Wyatt has a guitar too, and he's trying to learn. So he was all about it. They call him Papa John. So Wyatt, he told him as soon as he got here, he said, I need you to help me teach me play guitar and, we'll play together. So they did a lot and it was really nice. We had a really good time.
Yeah.
It was a little bit sad to see him leave.
Yeah.
When somebody's here for 3 days, like they become a part of the farm, you know what I mean? They just become a part of the process and it just becomes really normal. So they left Friday. It was a little bit of a rough day. Me and the kids were just, a little down, just missing them and trying to figure out. It's just always so quiet. It's so quiet when people leave. So we try to figure out, like, how do we, like, bridge the gap and go back to normal and not be sad, but also, like, feel your emotions. It's just a lot. It's a lot to figure out.
And it didn't help that I wasn't being as considerate as I should be.
Yeah.
That's something that I caught on. Like, when I was here, like, John, which is Papa John, he helped me plant peppers. We were doing a lot of planting. We were also in a drought. So I was like trying to like get our water set up and all that good stuff, which y'all are going to learn about this. We actually did a garden tour. And that's going to be tomorrow. So you get to see like how we garden the big garden or how we water the big garden, everything that's planted, all that good stuff. So you get to see that. But I was like, as soon as they left, I was like ready to go, like get that stuff. And I wasn't being considered enough of that impact of them leaving and everything. But we
figured it out.
Yeah, we figured it out just like we always do. And we were able to have a really awesome weekend.
Yeah, we went all to Walmart, a little Walmart that we have here, and we bought the kids a little like inflatable pool, even though they have that baby pool that we got from the Dollar General. We got the inflatable one, and we set that up, and they had a lot of fun in that. And it was just nice to like, they had to leave, and we had to basically grieve that because you never know when you're going to see him again. That's the hardest part. People like his mom, my mom, we know we'll see him, whenever we want to. But people farther away, like Pond Knot 2, when they came, you kind of go through this, well, when am I going to see him again? Right. I don't even have anything planned, so it makes it difficult. But it kind of bridged the gap between feeling our emotions, but, trying to welcome summer at the same time. So it was really nice. Yeah, the pool has been good for the kids, except for Wyatt. He got really burnt that first.
Yeah, he actually had to miss his first baseball game.
Yeah.
Due to injury, sunburn.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was so we had forgot the sunscreen, which we have now, so don't worry. But we was like, he's gonna be in it for 30. We're gonna only be in it for 30 minutes. And where it was actually shaded.
Yeah,
and,
it's shade tree.
We both know it, but you don't think of it right at the moment.
Well, here's also the thing: Raylan doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, it is rare.
She has a lot of like how my skin does.
Yeah, she just tans. And I burn, but Zach doesn't burn. So I was like, 30 minutes, 50-50 toss up. Do we put on the sunscreen and then probably fight a meltdown because he hates sunscreen, or do we just see if maybe he won't burn? Well,
he burned.
It failed.
And that was his first good burn he's ever had. And I told her, I said, sometimes like what I've experienced with like how my skin works, like even with sunscreen, I still get that like one good burn of the season, that first one. Then after that, the sunscreen and everything like works. It's just that fresh skin, right? So he's good now. He's fine. We actually put her calendula salve all over him, and it took that heat right out. He felt great afterwards. So all is good. But yeah, so much of a downgrade in the pool, but still enjoyable.
Very fun. Amy said, question, when do you harvest calendula flower? Right when they open or when they dry up a little? Either one, but we always do it when they open, and then you let them dry naturally on their own, or you can do a dehydrator, but we just lay them out on a paper towel and let them dry by themselves.
And I would say even more importantly, do it once they open. 2 reasons. One, you can enjoy them in a vase and have them on your table for a little bit, enjoy it until they start dying off, and you can take them off. But also they're a cut and count flower like a zinnia is. So the more you're cutting, the bushier they get. So you're going to get more flowers. So definitely do so.
Blonde said, we are harvesting our rainwater because we've been in drought in Kansas for the last 10 years. That's a really good idea. We hope to set up some rainwater too.
Yeah. I told her, I said, man, there's so many things I want to do. And it's when we kind of got talking about the work versus play. Y'all know that we're big on work hard, play hard. And we haven't been playing very hard because we've been trying to get this place set up. And I told her, I said, there's so many things that I want to do. And I just need to remember that, Rome wasn't built in a day, and we have done a lot. How many months we've been here? 8 now? Almost 8 months. And the amount of stuff that we've done, I said, I'm very proud of us. Like, I'm very proud of what we've accomplished. And I just need to remember that it isn't all going to get done in the first year. It took us 5-6 years. And on that last year, we were finally starting to get in routine. And I said we've already surpassed that in less than a year here. So it's just something that I got to keep reminding myself.
Laura said, how long does it take for okra to grow from direct sow? Not long at all. They're much like a bean. They even look like a bean as a sprout and as a seedling, and they grow really, really quick. Zach always wants to start okra, and I always try to pull back on that and say, no, let's just direct sow because they do go really quick.
I like to start everything.
He does. Yeah.
But my reason is not to like get quicker growth. It's just when I have a plant, I can space and plant more appropriately in my mind than direct sowing.
Yeah. It makes it a little bit more organized, I guess. And when you have like a limited space, it is nice to start stuff because you can plan it out and be more organized about it. Whereas when you direct sow, things get washed down the line or they don't germinate and then you've got a hole. So I don't know. It's really about your style of gardening, I guess. What you like to do.
My mom, with those solar vibe things, you got to work on groundhogs. They're supposed to. But I think a groundhog might be a little bit too big. Yeah. They might be okay with the vibrations. But anything that's in the ground, anything that kind of digs around in there and kind of takes home, it's supposed to disturb them enough to at least push them away.
Yeah. Navy Setter said, how long does it take to hard off plants? I really want to get these plants in the ground.
Not long. It depends on where if you have them in the house, they take a little bit longer. You want to take them out for 30 minutes in the shade,
Mm-hmm.
bring them back in. Then you want to do like 40 minutes
Right.
in the shade with a little sun and bring them back in the next day. Once you can get up to probably about 2 hours direct sun and they're not showing any wilt
of all direct sun, like 2 hours full of direct sun.
Right. But you want to do it incrementally. You don't want to throw them straight in there.
And don't put them out to harden and then throw a bunch of water on them and get them sunburned. It's just a process.
Yeah. Now,
it takes a few days.
If you've had them in a greenhouse, you're already halfway hardened off. They just really need to get used to the wind. So you can put them out for an hour or two first round.
He said so like 2 years. It does feel like forever.
It does.
I hate hardening off, which the greenhouse does make it a little bit better, but you still have to, especially for the direct sun, because that greenhouse is 6 mil. So it does block some UV. I hate hardening off. It is the worst process, but if you don't do it, it's all over.
Yeah.
So,
all that work. Poof.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
But it's a lot easier from a greenhouse outside than a house outside.
Yeah, right. That's true. Hey, Diana from Indianapolis. Good to see you. What else are we going to talk about?
So we're only 20 minutes in. We'll wait a little bit for the story. So we can talk about the lake beach, but the story has to do with lake beach. So we got to give it a few minutes. But as most of you all saw, we found a lake beach here nearby us, which is awesome. So that rolled into our fun part of the weekend. We went Saturday and Sunday, had a great time. Got to meet some people out there from all kinds of different areas. And Kentucky, we told them where we were from. They're like, where's that at?
Like this town.
Yeah. Literally closer to this than you are. So anyways, it's a beautiful little spot. Y'all know that we used to be very big side-by-siders. We love going into the mountains and riding, and we still do. However, I grew up on a lake. You had your hand in a little bit, but not much, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, so like ever since I learned how to swim in the lake, my parents, mom, and my stepdad Gary always had a boat until we finally moved.
We actually, where I grew up, we lived laying between the lakes, but we went to the mountains.
Yeah, so I mean, every weekend we went to the lake, and so like when we was in North Carolina, we was actually talking about like trying to find a lake house and move to, and it was before all this was going on. And so her and I have been talking, like we found a lake, we love it, we enjoy it. And so we're like contemplating maybe boat life of our fun. Because we really had
Hey, Freedom Homestead.
Freedom Homestead. We'll be talking about you all here in a little bit. We really had a realization, and I told Jen, I said, this is what I am facing. So when we were at our old place and we had family all the time over there, we would work even on the weekends, but we knew there was a 99% chance somebody was going to roll up the hill and we was going to hang out, talk, chat with other people, and enjoy the night. So we were still having the play part. Now we work, and then it's just Jen and I and the kids sitting on the porch or whatever it is, which we do every single night. So it starts to not feel as much of play, more than just routine. So we're trying to find our like niche or fun that we can go do to where we can meet people, we can talk to people and have fun with people, even if we're not talking to them, just being involved in the community. And so we're kind of leaning towards possibly a boat because we, like I said, I've lived on it and it seems like a lot of fun again to do. And I know I would love my kids to grow up on the water as well. So yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. And I know that sounds weird, but like, I mean, I work from home. She's always home. Our kids are always home. So you may be thinking, we'll do stuff, like fun things. 7 days a week, every single day, we do stuff. So we're just trying to find something outside of the house that we can go play that's not a trip. We can go and come back. Yeah,
I mean, we go to Gatlinburg all the time, Pigeon Forge. But it's a little bit more of like a planned thing you have to do. So yeah, I don't know, lake life.
Lake life. Fun. Yeah, it would be fun.
When we came back home and we had the mountains, I was like, I feel like I cheated on the mountains this weekend.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, I'm not a lake person, I'm a mountain person. But at
you can be both.
Live in the mountains and we can go play at the lake.
That's what I told her. I said, we live in them now. I said, most people have to go visit the mountains. We live in them now.
Oh gosh, we did have fun though.
It was awesome when her dad was here. He said, well, you don't have to look real hard to find a mountain.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
I've seen when they've been here.
All right. So before we get into story time, I want to show you something. Because, like I always say, you all that watch our live are the ones that are a little bit more sincere about watching Stivers Homestead. So we like to give you sneak peeks of what you may see in the video. So we did a garden tour today that's going to be posted tomorrow. But we did an awesome harvest. So we've been harvesting our co-crops all over the place in that greenhouse. It's basically empty. Really, it is empty. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, like our kale has not bolted. Yeah. And it's been over 120 degrees in there. But
I've had my fill of kale this year.
Yeah, we had a lot, but it was great. It was great first time planting that in the greenhouse. And
like awesome every time I get a bite of it now, I'm starting to like gag a little.
Yeah,
enough kale.
We had so much kale and eggs, it's insane. But we ate a lot of farm to table food. All right, so you all saw us harvest our broccoli. That was our first broccoli we've ever grown. Y'all saw that we've harvested our first cauliflower that we've ever grown. Well, now we got cauliflower running through our ears.
Yeah.
But that was all the white cauliflower. The one thing that was a little bit farther behind, and it was putting a lot of effort into its plant, not the head, was our graffiti cauliflower. Mm-hmm. Now that's the purple cauliflower. And so I was really curious on what was going to happen here, if it was going to bolt before it could get the head. Well, we got 5 of them today. And I brought one of the better ones. And I wanted you all to see it because it's just so interesting.
It's so pretty.
It reminds me of like, y'all remember when the ketchup companies made like purple ketchup? It wasn't red, it was purple, and how weird that was. It's kind of like that. But I'll stop talking. I'll just show you all. It's so cool.
It's so beautiful. I love it, and it tastes so good.
Look at that.
Camera doesn't do it justice.
Size of my head, and it is beautiful.
So pretty. Love it.
Isn't that awesome? So this is graffiti cauliflower from Hoss Tools, and there's no taste difference. It tastes just like cauliflower that you would have that's white, but it is beautiful. So you get to grow something pretty with the exact same taste that you love. I would say it probably does take a little bit longer to grow. I don't know why, but just from our experience, we had white and we had purple. Yeah. And the white grew smaller plants, quicker heads. The purple grew more plants, slower heads, but still
only a week behind. So it's
a week or two. It's nothing crazy.
It's so
good. So good.
We have been eating cauliflower and broccoli like crazy. Yeah. I mean, every meal, that's what we're eating on the side at least. And the cauliflower we've actually been roasting and then putting buffalo sauce on top, and that's been really good.
There's nothing like cauliflower or buffalo cauliflower bites.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting tongue-tied trying to say cauliflower.
It is good. And we've still got collards and kale, which I'm honestly done with. Yeah. I'll probably give it to the animals. The collards are still doing really, really good.
Oh, and we harvested our 2 cabbages as well.
Yes. Do you make cauliflower rice? Miss Hidden Heights said. We never have, but I'm sure that's really good. Probably really good. I've actually made cauliflower mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that's really that was good. Mm-hmm. The Tinker's wife said, "Have you tried cauliflower pizza crust yet?" I think we've tried it, but we've never made it.
Yeah.
So it'd be good. Isn't it gorgeous? It is. Man, it's so good.
Try it with Kung Pao. I bet that is good. Cauliflower and Kung Pao sauce. Yum.
Giggles Mama. I'm not sure if it stays purple when it's cooked or not. We've actually haven't cooked it. We just harvested them. If anything, I would say maybe it would get a little lighter.
But probably make the water purple.
Yeah, but like even if you can see the inside, like the veins, like it's purple through the stem too. So it would hold at least some color.
Yeah. Where'd it go?
We're definitely going to be making pickled cauliflower because
that's that was the one I was going to. Yeah. It was Marietta, if I got that name right. I think I'm going to be pickling a lot of it because
I love pickled cauliflower.
Yeah.
I get this like medley at the grocery store. It's like cauliflower, little baby onions, and like some other stuff, but the cauliflower is my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's probably what the masses we're going to be doing there. So we'll try to make sure to video that.
Geocache said we've made homemade cauliflower pizza crust. Yeah.
Nice.
But that would be really good. Sandra said battered deep fried cauliflower dipped in sauce. That's kind of like we've been doing with the buffalo bites, just without the breading.
That's so good. Cat Scott, hello from West Kentucky. What's up?
Hello.
My little northern neighbor. It's good to see you.
It feels weird to say.
Right. Laura Reed, should I start in the fall? So that's actually something that we talk about in the video tomorrow. It's a major test and learn with co-crops. We started ours March 1st in the greenhouse in a raised bed. And here we are May 24th, and we got hit.
They were transplanted March 1st.
Transplanted.
We started them inside.
In February.
Excuse me, in February. Transplanted them. They were tiny into the raised bed in the greenhouse March 1st, and here we are. It does take time. Like we talked about in the video tomorrow, it's all about finding timing for your place. You can't give a solid answer for cold crops for anyone. It's like there's not one answer across the board. It is all about your zone, really. And test and trial. This is the first time we've ever been successful
actually
with
got
cauliflower. And we've done broccoli. They've been really small, not like normal size broccoli. But yeah, this is the first time that we've actually gotten them to a head, and cabbage too. And collards, without having stuff bolt. And I'm not sure why that greenhouse held it so well. Maybe it's the plastic. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll definitely be doing it again next year. And to go ahead and give you a little foreshadowing of what's going to happen here in about July. So when we're going to test and learn ourselves here, because we're not real sure. We've never grown a fall crop successfully, right? Like an actual head. We can do lettuce and beets and different stuff like that. However, when we harvest the potatoes in July, we're going to plant more cauliflower, more broccoli, more cabbage in that bed and see if that's about an appropriate time for us. So that's going to be around my birthday, about mid-July. We'll see what happens. It might bolt real quick and we not get them. I don't think it will either. But we're hoping to get a harvest before we get into the hard freeze. That's our goal. And then we'll go back to the greenhouse and plant there.
Yeah. Very cool. It's just a test and learn.
Yeah.
But man, it's exciting when it finally happens.
Yes, it is. There's something successful about root veggies and like one head plants, right? Because like a tomato, if you have a blossom end rod on a tomato, that's not the only tomato. Right. There's going to be plenty more to come.
It's sad, but you're like, okay, whatever.
There's more. If that one cauliflower goes bolts, you're like, oh, gosh, all that work. And it's just bolting.
Yeah. I don't know. I love cold crops.
I do.
I love them. I think it's just the greatest thing ever.
They're fun to grow and they're my favorite to pickle.
And it's so fun because you're in the dead of winter and you're like, what can I grow? Not much, but hey, I can start some cauliflower and broccoli.
I can grow this fantastic stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Diane. Monica said I direct sowed corn, eggplant, squash, and okra and beets yesterday. I'm late, but I finally built my second 3x8 bed yesterday. That's awesome.
We actually haven't planted our corn yet. We're right there, but everything else planted, just the corn.
North Star, the kids have eaten the cauliflower and the broccoli. They don't mind it. They kind of like it. The purple helped.
Yeah. Oh, and if you follow us on Stivers Homestead Facebook, if you have Facebook, if you don't, that's fine. I get it. But if you have Facebook, not just the Stive Tribe, but our actual Facebook Stivers Homestead page, we have been consistently posting stories on that and Instagram to make sure that nobody's left out, right? YouTube gets our videos. And we just posted before we got on here, White eating the nasturtium flower. We all did. And he liked it. He said, it tastes like a pepper.
So it's the Facebook, Stivers Homestead Facebook page. And then when you go to the page, you can click on our profile picture and you can hit view story and it'll show you all our stories.
Yeah, and I think they're only up for 48 hours. So you got to make sure that you're staying on that and stuff. Again, if you don't have Facebook, that's probably fine. We just letting you know if you do. We do post there. YouTube gets all of our attention. So we just try to share a little love everywhere else.
And I love having my memories too on Facebook.
Yeah.
Have to put some stuff. Sue said we start corn on June 1st. Well, that makes me feel better because we have not yet.
Right. I mean, a lot of farmers do. They wait.
Thank you for that.
They're getting, I know at least in Kentucky, they're waiting out those spring storms.
Yeah.
So a lot of the farmers will wait, knowing that the flood's coming, which I think we're safe now. We had it early this year, but I would tell her when we drive around, like, they haven't got that corn planted yet. What's going on? And it's usually waiting out that rainstorm.
Yeah, it's because the fields, they flood so bad.
Yeah.
But we have not planted our corn yet, and we still have time. We might do it. Laura said, Jen, how's your ankle feeling? It's better. Some days are too much, but it's okay. I put it up at night, and then when I sleep, it goes down, and then I wake up, and it looks like a brand new ankle, and then we start all over again, and then by the night, it's swollen again. No, but it's fine. It still pops out of place quite frequently, but as long as I stay on flat ground, everything's fine. Just have to be aware of it, but it is not stopping anything. That's for sure. Nice. Louise, I'm so glad the advice on turkeys worked.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
She had messaged me, so that's awesome.
Nice.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, that's great to hear. 609, 36 minutes in. Story time.
Story time.
All right. So this is around beaches in general. So as we have like thrown down your throats, we lived in North Carolina for a while.
And a lot of you do too.
Yeah, and a lot of you all do too. So you might relate to this. So when we were in North Carolina, we had a 2-year-old and a under 1 year-old. Yeah, because she turned one right near the end when we were leaving. We live 2 hours from the beach, and we like to go often, kind of like now with Gatlinburg. So this drove my hate for beaches. Because when you have a 2-year-old and an under 1-year-old, first off, the sheer amount of stuff. There's a lot of stuff
so much
that you have to have.
Besides toys, you're talking canopies, towels. Then you've got the toys. Then you've got formula. You've got bottles. You've got pacifiers. You've got diapers. You've got wipes. You've got baby powder. You've got sheets just to try to keep them off the skin.
All the things, right?
I mean, you're packing for a vacation. Just go to the beach.
Yeah, for a day.
All the daily stuff.
All the things. You're packing it into a 3-hour event that would last, just in case you're there the whole day. So first off, how many of y'all, which I know they have them, but how many of y'all just drove straight to where you're sitting on the beach, right? And rare. Right. It's a rare situation. Yeah. Most of them you got to park. You got to walk the deck. Then you got to walk through the real hot sand where nobody walks.
Yeah.
Then you get to the cooler sand finally.
While holding
on stuff. So
and children, because you can't have them burning their little feet.
Yeah.
And you can't take a stroller down there.
And when you have a 2 and an under 1-year-old, they can't do it themselves. Right. They don't go by themselves. Now it's pretty great, but they walk. But she had the kids, so she would have like Raylan strapped to her.
Yeah.
Wyatt would be on a stroller. Y'all know strollers don't work in the sand either. No. We didn't have one of those carts or anything like that, but it's what it is. So that left canopy and then all those things
cooler
for daddy.
Bags of snacks.
Yes, because you got to have snacks. You can't get the crankies.
Yeah.
While we're on the beach, because we don't want to just go right home. Like once daddy packs all the stuff out, we stay in until we're done. Right. Like until we get back into the car. Like it ain't happening. We're not moving this stuff. So settle in, folks.
Yeah.
Make it home. After you've taken 75,000 trips.
Oh, and that's not to mention all the water bottles, because you have all the water bottles.
All the water bottles. That's for
to
cleaning.
Drink and for bottles.
Yeah. Yeah. Washing sand down throats. So by the time daddy has taken so many trips back and forth, and it's no against the mama, somebody got to watch the kids.
Somebody got to.
Period. So after you finally get everything done, and then you get the canopies up, because you got to have shade, little ones, right? Fresh skin. You got to get the canopies up, got to get all that stuff. You finally sit down. Your son looks at you and says, "Can we go get in the water?" Like,
yeah, let's go play.
Okay. So y'all know what I'm talking about. Because you've been to the beach, you get it. You know what I'm talking about. Well, the point that we're trying to get to in this is the sand in general.
Donna, then one has to go to the potty, and then they don't want to do it in the water.
Right.
Because they're like, well, you told me not to pee in pants.
Watch them.
So I can't pee in the water.
Right.
In the pants.
Even though you've watched them like smear poop like on a wall before in your life, like you've seen them do this, but we can't poop we can't pee in the water. Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So the point of this story is the sand part of it. Besides it all coming back in your car, and all coming back in your house.
And your washer, your dryer, your everywhere.
Right. And for 2 weeks you're crunching. Like you get a crunch of sand. You're like, where did that come from? Where was it hiding all this time? I don't understand. Why did I just crunch sand? Y'all know what I mean? It's just always there. It's going to be on you. It's going to be in your floor. You can't get it out of your area. Well, the worst is the kids with the sand. So Raylan specifically would eat everything.
Yes.
We actually, sidebar story, when she was young, and I think we might have mentioned this before, but to give you a little recapper here, she would not eat baby food.
No.
So when she got off milk, she would not eat baby food to save her life.
Mm-mm.
Jen even made her own baby food. Yeah. We tried store-bought, all the things. She would not eat it whatsoever. We finally decided, was it pizza?
Yeah.
We finally decided to tear up.
She would get mad at me.
Yeah, that's right. She's real mad.
We had a little kids picnic table in the living room. And, she wasn't sitting in a high chair. She didn't have time for that. She was big girl, like Wyatt. She wanted to be up. She wanted to sit in a big girl chair. So Wyatt would have solid food like waffles or, chicken nuggets, fish sticks, kid food. She would get mad. She would go grab his and take it from him. And I'd tell her no. And he would tell her no. She started screaming.
Real mad.
And then she wouldn't take the baby food because she was looking at that like, what is this? I'm not going to eat that.
No, I don't want this junk.
Yeah. So, basically she screamed at me so much that I was like, you know what? Screw it. Eat the pizza.
Yeah. So a kid that would normally be eating baby food, and every doctor in the world would say, don't give them real food. She had no teeth. Zero. None. Not even one about to come out. She wasn't teething. None of that action. She just gumming the fire out of a pizza and loving life. Yeah. She was.
Our funny story. Our friends actually came when we were in North Carolina to visit us, and it was dinner time. Well, everybody's eating Little Caesars pizza, and he was standing there, and I handed Raylan a piece, and he said, whoa, he's gonna choke. I said, no. He said, I've raised kids. She's gonna choke on that pizza. I said, okay, we'll see.
I looked at him, I said, you ain't raised the Raylan.
Watch. She took it, and she just ate it, gummed it.
I'm pretty sure she ate at least 2 to 3 pieces that night.
And he just stood there and watched, and he was like, oh, okay.
Amazing. What did you all bring into this world? What is this thing that is eating pizza at under a year old, less than 8 months old? Like, I mean, whoa. Yeah. Crazy. Loved it. Finally happy. That's when we finally figured out how to make Raylan stop crying.
Yes.
Give her food. It was amazing. But anyways, that drug on to like everything, right? So then when she realized that she could eat stuff, she tried to eat everything. I'm talking everything, y'all. She tried to eat it. We was like on her. Like, I mean, she trying to eat rocks, toys, all this stuff. Like, we had to be on her
grass,
the whole time.
Plants, roses.
Yeah, it was nuts. Total opposite of Wyatt. I mean, you had to. He didn't like anything around his mouth. Right. So back to the beach. We went to the beach often. Raylan
hey, Tammy.
has digested a lot of sand in her life. I mean, we're talking by the cupfuls, like drinking it like it's water. Yeah. Just eating sand. And she loved it. And she was the most disgusting baby ever at the beach. Like, I know they all are, but she intentionally was. And I full-heartedly believe that she intentionally tried to be the most disgusting child ever at the beach. And like, she would come over, sand in her mouth, sand in her hands, sand in her diapers. I mean, sand everywhere. And like how they do is like trying to like give you a hug. I'm like, I don't even love you right now. Like, I can't love you. I can't even love you at the moment. Back up for me.
She'd have Cheetos in both hands.
Yeah, Cheetos.
Sand. Like, she would take her Cheetos and dip them in the sand. And eat it. Like, it was.
And those
like
puffs
it was rich.
too. Remember the puffs? She would scoop that Puffs cup. You know, kind of those baby puffs, and like shake it up like shake and bake, and start eating these puffs. Sand pills.
It was seasoning.
It was so bad. And y'all, we were on it too. Like, it's not like we were just like ignoring her.
No.
We finally gave in. We gave up. Like,
if you took the sand from her, she'd scream.
Yeah, he's like the strong will survive. Yeah. I don't know. We at least got Wyatt, I guess. Huh? He's out there at least playing in the water. Yeah. So that's why we decided to like the lake beach a little bit more than the ocean beach.
Yes.
And there's a difference in the sand and the
There is. Ocean beach sticks to you, like sticks. I mean, you get wet feet. Your foot is the size of Montana with the sand that's on it in the water. The lake beach is a whole lot different. The sand is not as, I don't even know the word. It's just not the same. It doesn't stick to you as bad. It still does. Yeah. But it's not to the same level.
Not as bad.
So, like, you can't take a full-blown Cheeto and just dip it in the sand and have it coated.
Right.
And at the lake beach, the sand will fall off the Cheeto.
And it's much more compacted down. It feels, it's not as
So we caught on to that. And we're like, you know what? She's going to eat sand no matter what. But at least at the lake beach, she's getting a little bit smaller volume of it. Because y'all, it became an issue. Like the child was getting constipated.
Right. Like, I mean, it was coming out and it was white, covered in sand. Like,
I can't stop going to the beach, but we got to fix something
She's
here.
literally pooping dust. I mean, sand dust. What is this? And we're not even kidding.
No.
This is real stuff. This is real life. This is what we live through. So her and I go to the beach Saturday by ourselves. I don't know why.
We're current time now.
Yeah, we're back to real life. I don't know why. Her and I sometimes like to do new things that we know that could potentially have rowdy folks.
Yes.
By ourselves first. Yeah. Just fill out the area.
Just check it out. Get a vibe off of it.
Mama Papa Bear, and just kind of check it out. And then maybe Mama Papa Bear won't join in. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. Look at country ass stuff. You never know. But we also want to check: is this like a college spot,
right,
or is this like a family spot,
or is it both?
A healthy mix of both? Yeah. So we went and tried it by ourselves.
Yeah. So great time, minimum sand.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it was fun. We just hung out. We listened to some music. We met some folks, which we mentioned earlier. Had a great time. And so we came back home. Our kids were with Grammy Karen.
So much fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. We had a great time.
I'm pretty sure we were so relaxed that we almost fell asleep at one point.
Yeah.
We had sunglasses on. It was he was like, no.
Mom and Dad out. But we had a great time. So we got back home and we was going to pick up the kids the next day. And it's kind of like a halfway point. Or anyway, so she was like, well, let's take the kids the next day. I was like fighting my interior, like we needed to get stuff done. I'm like, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
We're going to roll with this weekend. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. The kids would hate us anyways because they knew we were going. It wasn't
a secret. They knew what was going on.
Right. So it was like, yeah, you're right. Let's take the kids. It was a good place. Let's have fun. So we go and immediately we get like set up, which was quick and easy anyways. We didn't have the canopy. We just got chairs, towels, and a couple toys. I was just said, this is heaven.
Yeah.
This is so much better than the last time we took us four as a unit to the beach. Like I can appreciate this.
Is this what it's supposed to be like?
I was like, I can dig a beach.
Yeah.
If this is how it is, I can do this. Well, as soon as we're getting stuff set up, kids, life jackets on, go into the water. Her and I sit down. I'm like, whoa, what is this like? Like, this is awesome. Like we can watch, like we got close enough to the water to where it was clear sight. They could hear us if we talked. They could hear us if we talked. It's like, man, it is nice having some older kids every once in a while. And so nice. She's like, so this is what normal people go through. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I understand now. I feel sorry for any of you that take under 1-year-olds out to the beach, but it gets better.
Just don't do it. And then you don't have to explain it.
And then it gets better.
It's not worth it.
So here comes the zinger of the story. So the kids are out there swimming, they're having fun. I'm noticing more sand on me than the day before, having to pump up floats. Like,
and you're getting drinks out for the kids.
Yeah.
You're noticing, you're like, a little bit more sand than I remembered yesterday.
But that's okay. It's not a lot. I'm feeling more, right? I'm feeling more on my body. More on my body. It's not just on my feet. Get a little bit on my face. It's just a little bit more than it was before. So we're sitting there, and we had been out there an hour, 2 hours maybe. And, of course, water and sun makes you hungry. So it was lunchtime. Well, mainly for Raylan. Wow, it was good.
Yeah.
And we had told Raylan we brought a Lunchable because she really likes the little pizza Lunchables. And that's...
Han Solo said beach trips for the bad boyfriends. Yes.
Yes.
Anytime she gets a bad boyfriend, I'll be like, you know what she loves so much?
Yeah.
The beach.
Especially because what I'm about to tell you all, we have realized she'll never grow out of it.
Yeah.
So, and she's about to be 6 this year. So she wanted a Lunchable.
Oh,
hang on, real quick, because he never ever learns. Say hi, everybody. Hi, never learns. That was my dad. He calls me every Monday Night Live, and so I like to show you
religiously.
All right, so back to the story. Where were we?
They're getting hungry.
Yeah, they're getting hungry. So Raylan likes the little pizza Lunchables. And so I look at her, I say, Raylan, I'm going to make the pizza and I'm going to hand it to you.
Well, yeah, because making Lunchables is like art for her. Like, it's a way of expressing herself. She really likes to make her Lunchables. It's different every time. You never know what she's going to throw on there. It's a whole thing. She's like a full-blown chef artist when it comes to Lunchables.
So I put the sauce on. I give it a little swirl like they do on the pizza. I tried to throw the cheese on it, throw the pepperonis on. I had to. She eats that one. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to try to, all right, this is White's wallet. Imagine this little pizza. If I handed you a pizza, or if you were eating one, I know I would probably hold it by the edges like this.
Personal,
Yeah, a little bit like, I would hold it like this. And she said she would hold by the corner.
I would do it by the corner where there wasn't sauce. I would just like pinch it and then take a bite.
Raylan goes, like with sauce on, it's like squirting out, like, Sammy. It's a Sammy, like it's got a bun on the top, but it doesn't. So that's what she. So I knew we were starting on the wrong foot when we were eating the first pizza. All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I know we're starting to get long with it. Second one, same thing.
Same thing.
Sandwich. That's when we were talking about it. Was on the second one. I was like, watch her eat this thing.
Yeah.
And right here. And
it took us back. It's been 5 years since she was a baby.
Yeah.
And both of us looked at us and we were like kind of sad, but also like, she's the same child.
She's the same child.
So it had nothing to do with being a baby. It's just who she is.
When the real fun started was when we got to the third pizza. And this was on Daddy. This was on me. I was trying to get, and like those little Lunchables are not made for daddy fingers. Like you can't get your fingers in the cheese and get it out. So what I try to do is I try to just like dump the cheese on the last one because I was trying to get it all out there. But when I did that, I lost 2 pepperonis in the sink. Yeah. And so I look at Jen. Jen looks at me. I look at Raylan. Raylan looks at Jen. We all are looking at each other. Watts just doing his own thing. She grabs pepperonis, puts them right on the pizza.
Put it right on it.
Started. Y'all, there was tomato sauce on the pepperonis, and it fell in the sand, and there was sand all over the pepperonis. I mean, we're talking, there was probably more sand than pizza on this thing, and she just, like, there was nothing wrong with the situation whatsoever. And she literally had the audacity to go,
it's good.
So good.
I said, how's the sand taste? She said, it's great. Okay, well, you still got a taste for it.
You still got a taste for it.
At least you're consistent.
Fast forward a few hours later, after we had been there a while, Wyatt would come out, and it's just like a kid thing. Like, as soon as they get out of the water, he was ready for his lunch. You sit and you put your hands in the sand. Yeah. Right?
Poor buddy.
Yeah. And
he didn't get it yet. Like, it didn't connect. Because he was real, like, vigilant about it. When he got out of the water, he would wash his hands off. Yeah. And he would wash his feet off.
And he's always been very clean.
He's a very clean child. Nothing like Raylan.
His room, like, when I vacuum, I'm like, look, when I can act like I'm vacuuming in here.
Very clean child. Yeah. He likes to be clean. He doesn't like anything to be out of place. He's just like his mom. So, he comes up and he's got clean hands. Like, he's ready. He's ready to eat. Well, he goes to sit down on the towel and he braced himself. So then he's like, oh, no. I was like, oh, man, buddy, you got to go wash your hands back off. Like, we're not going to be putting the sandy hands in the chip bag.
Yeah, nobody wants that. Maybe Raylan, not us. It's our chips.
So he goes back to the water. He runs back and he washes his hands off again. He goes all the way back to the towel. He went to sit down again, and he put his and he looked at her. He was like,
oh. Again, he looked at her. I looked at her. We all looked at each other. It was like, what? Did you forget?
What is this saying life?
So he gets up a third time to go wash his hands off, and he does this number when he sits down. Yeah. He just drops with his hands in there.
Got it, bro.
He's like the crawdad, like with the guns. Remember last week? And so I'm like, I look at
everybody hands up.
I look at him and say, are you good? He said, yes. So I handed him the chips. Meanwhile, while we're focused on Wyatt, Raylan is literally like scooping chips in the sand.
Yeah, no, just eating it.
Eating them out, all in the sand, all in the chip bag. I'm like, Raylan, what are you doing? She just got her hand. She's drawing things in the sand and going right into the chip bag and eating. I look at her. I said, remember when you said it's easier with older kids? I said, I don't think Raylan's ever grown up, babe.
No, she's consistent.
So tell them what happened that night when you went to Brushy Brush.
Oh my gosh. So I went to brush her hair. Well, first of all, we knew it was time to leave when the kids started throwing sand in each other's hair.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, we can bury each other in the sand. That's fine. Let's not put it in our hair because that just never comes out. Like, that's going to become a part of your skin and it's never going to leave. I know it from experience. I've been there. I know it. So they start like pouring sand on each other's head. I'm like, it's time for us to go. We've had a good time here, but before it gets any weirder, let's just pack up and go home. So I go to brush her hair at home, and she's standing in front of me, and I take it out of the braid, and I feel
They do it outside.
And I'm like, what is that I'm feeling? And I finally realized it's sand. Like it's sand is just pouring out of her hair onto my legs. I'm like, oh my God, we gotta go outside. We've already vacuumed at this point. We're just trying to erase the sand, but we know better.
We knew. North Carolina, it's always there. You would crunch it a month later.
So I take her out, and I'm just like trying to get all the sand out of her hair, and there's probably still some there. You just can't get it out.
There was literally a pile in between her legs, like of sand.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I looked at her, I said, I don't think I want to go back.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought this was going to be better.
And then her bed, like from her hair, it got in her bed. We had to take the sheets off and like shake them.
And shake them and all that good stuff.
Oh, his truck. Have you looked at it?
No.
Oh, you don't want to.
It's bad. I know it's bad.
You know, their little water shoes, they harvest the sand and they just store it in there. And oh, it's so bad. There's just sand everywhere. But we love it.
Yeah. But, you know, we say all that jokingly. We had a great time. It's just the fun of our children and how different they are. Raylan is just wild and loving and caring and just
she's
free.
So unique.
Yeah, and she's just free to just enjoy life and doesn't care about things that most of us care about. And I love that beautiful spirit of her.
Yeah.
I also relate a little bit more to Watt with his cleanliness and not wanting sand on things.
Right.
But they're just both so unique, and I love them, and it's so much fun telling stories about them because I hope someday that maybe Raylan will catch this live, and we need to like rename it like Raylan eats sand, and so maybe so maybe she'll watch it one day or something. It's just it's
so much fun,
awesome and fun.
But my goodness, so going back to the Lake Beach, we live 20 minutes from it in North Carolina. We live 2 hours from the ocean beach, 20 minutes from the Lake Beach, and now we found this one. It's about 30 to 40 minutes from us. It's perfect. It's a
great trip.
It's so nice because when we did it in North Carolina, we have the memories of the kids, like the stories that we're telling, but they don't necessarily remember it. Like we can show them the pictures and they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. But do they really? Probably not. So I don't know, to like almost come full circle and be able to have that again and then make those memories with the kids is just so special.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like every day it just becomes more like home and more like what it feels like it should be. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It just really is fantastic. We love our life. We love our family. We love you all. And every day we find something new around here that just makes it even more special. So thank you all for enjoying that story. We only have about 2 minutes left, and I did want to announce something real quick. Freedom Homestead, who's one of our moderators that's on here, they're leaving. They had to say goodnight because they got to get ready for their own live because it goes on right after us at 9 p.m. So we had posted their GoFundMe a little while back. Their house actually, they went through some stuff. I'll let them tell you all because I want all of you all, as many as you can, to go join their live right at 9 p.m. As soon as we flip the Freedom Homestead, North Star. I'm sure you can some of our mods can throw up their channel just so y'all know where to go. However, they've had a tragedy at their house with their basement collapsing in, bad storms, a lot of stuff. I mean, it is something that we would all have nightmares about. Like this isn't a bad roof that just needs to be fixed. This is some serious issues that they're going through. And the worst case of it all is the insurance company has denied their claim, their home insurance, which I have the most hatred ever in the world over insurance in general. I think it's just a crock up. And like, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand insurance. And this is even more showing that because it's home insurance and they're denied the claim for the home that needs fixing, period. And that's how I look at it. So anyways, they need all of our support. Them having the uplifting spirits that they do in a situation that they're in is something that only God's speaking to them. Like, you can feel it, you can see it. And so I would like all of you all, if you can, to join their live, show them support, hear their story, listen to what they're going through, and make sure to we'll be there. So just make sure to be on there and check that out. So I just want to share that.
Yes, they're our good friends. And we love them dearly. So, any amount of support you can give them, even if it's just your time and prayers, is really important. Yeah, so we'll be there, like he said, and we'll end this so that y'all can go there because it's time. I think they should be going live any second now. So we love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for always listening to our crazy stories. That's our life. I promise.
That's right. We love y'all. Be ready for the garden tour tomorrow.
Yes.
It'll post sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah. Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye. Bye.